Callie from Liverpool, who created one of our favourite monsters, Miss Lily Savage. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul O'Grady.
You're in Shanghai Lily there to play me on.
That's right, a good one, eh? You're looking in great shape for somebody who's supposed to be a goner.
No, I feel fine, yeah. They dug me up, hit me with the shovel, shoved me in, chitty, chitty, bang, bang, and there you go.
That was what, so only 6 months ago. You had a major heart attack,
yeah,
didn't you?
Yeah, I had a coronary, yeah. Massive coronary.
Did your life flash before you?
It didn't, no, I wished it did, because I was so whacked out of my mind on morphine. They put me on the morphine, I wasn't taking it myself, you know what I mean? That I was in seventh heaven. I didn't care what happened. I just lay there and thought, this is heaven. You know, they're saying, you've had a heart attack. Oh, fine. You said my leg was off. I'm not bothered, you know what I mean? But I feel fine. I gave up the ciggies.
Oh, that was difficult. I mean, you're a big smoker, weren't you?
It was the one great love of my life. When I gave up smoking, Lambert and Butler lost 20 workers. I tell you, they said that. I loved smoking. You know, I still do love the smell of it. I'm not one of these sort of anti-smokers, you know, born-again anti-smokers who say, you can't come to my house and smoke. I hate them. They're all about control. You can come to my house and smoke your head off, you know, do what you like.
It's a tough one to break, isn't it? I mean, it's highly addictive. It's possibly the most addictive thing you can have.
I was like permanently, I don't know what, you know, I get up in the morning and I go, oh, I don't know what to do, you know? I have a cup of tea and I think, I normally go, there's a black cloud around me. But since I've given them up, I do feel, you know, I do feel a lot better. Okay. I would, if anyone's a smoker, I'd say give them up. You know.
What else have you had to give up? Anything else, Tom?
Oh, plenty of things. Do you know they have? I've got to tell you this. They have a sexual cardiac liaison officer. Do they? Yeah.
Oh, pray tell me, what does he or she do?
Well, you're supposed to ring them up and tell them when you've had it off. And I said, I haven't got a regular partner. I've got to go out and get one first. It's a chance. I've got to go and cop off. I've got to pull because they put you on beta blockers and, you know, they don't know whether you might go off the idea of doing it, you know what I mean? So they're very nice and they ask you very politely, you know, like, have you done it yet? I say, well, yes. And how was it? Well, ask them if you like. I'll give you the number if I can find it. Can't remember the name, but I've got the number somewhere.
Do they come round and offer practical help?
Give you bedside assistance. I think they offer advice. And then they whack it on, I don't know, whatever, but I mean, touch wood, I've had no trouble. I shouldn't be saying this, should I?
But then, of course, I mean, you started work, I mean, 6 months after you had this heart attack. You started working in a vigorous part in Chitty Chitty...
Bang, bang. Don't say gang,
no,
bang.
I was going to say gang, bang. It's only me talking about what we're talking about. You're about to say that.
Well, they've renamed it that since I've gone in it.
Are you enjoying it? I
am very much. It's not a big part. I'm in... It's funny because backstage in the Palladium, you know, you think the world-famous London Palladium, Andrew Lloyd Webber, I can't wait to see him because he should put a few bob out for a can of paint. I mean, it's disgusting. I'm in the Anne Frank suite. It's this... And I'm behind a wardrobe, seriously. And some bright spark said in the 70s, oh, we shove a shower in this dressing room, make it en suite. So I've got this thing like a metal TARDIS, bang, in the middle of the room, which people think is the lift. Seriously, Scylla came to see me, and when she was leaving the dressing room, she got in it, she thought she was going down. No, it's the shower. But I am, so because the child catcher, who I'm playing, is not in it a lot, I do sit in the dressing room for the first half, for about 1.5 hours, pulling my hair out like a parrot with boredom. But I am enjoying it. It's a great show.
Do you like the music?
It's a bit sweet. Truly scrumptious. I wake up in the morning, you know, when you're rehearsing and you're hearing the show every rotten night, 8 shows a week, and I hear, truly scrumptious, and I smash my head on the bathroom sink. Shut up! Shut up! And then I go downstairs and I go, bang, bang, titty, titty, bang, 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 please leave me alone.
You get to fly, don't you, in this as well?
I fly 200, I'm like a special act. I come on in the second half, I sing a song, and then I fly through the roof 200 feet. Because they shoved me in this net with all these kids screaming around me, and I get hauled in, I've just had a heart attack, by the way, I get shoved in a net. There's 50 kids going, kill him, kill him! I'm swung off the stage over the stalls and then hauled up through the roof screaming my head off. And I say to myself on the way home, why am I doing, why am I not taking it easy?
It's a good question, because I mean, you actually, there was little in your in your formative years to suggest that you might end up on stage? I mean,
Nothing.
No, nothing at all. I mean, you came from Tranmere.
Yeah.
It's a fairly rough old area you came from.
Oh, it was a little bit, yeah, to say the least.
And I mean, your mum had it rough, hadn't she?
They had a terrible life. My mum and her two sisters.
Yeah.
They were born in real extreme poverty in Birkenhead in the in the Depression. I mean, really grim.
That would not be the place to be, Birkenhead, in the Depression.
No, not at all.
No.
No, not at all. Birkenhead in the Depression. No. And they really had to, when they were kids, they all went into domestic service. And my mum was she was the tweenie maid in between floors. My auntie Chrissy was the cook, and my auntie Annie was the nanny. And they hated the job. So one day they got the kids. There was a dinner party for 15, so they're all sat there. The lady of the house is having a dinner. They served the first course. And my auntie Chrissy said, right, come on, let's bugger off. And they got the kids. They gave the kids a big jar of jam each in the kitchen to eat. And they got off out the window and vanished. And I've often wondered, the lady of the house, when she rang the bell for the next course, I said, excuse me, Annie, it's Savage, because that was my mother's maiden name, Savage. And they'd gone, they'd just left. They were really fiery, they were...
You're writing about all this, you're dredging up all these memories now because you're writing the book, and there's this very colourful childhood and life that you've had.
It's very colourful, yeah.
And coming out of the research that you've done, I mean, this person who appeals to me is your Auntie Chrissy.
Oh, she's fabulous.
I mean, reading about her, you could actually build a TV series around her.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
I mean...
Tell us about her.
She was a clippy on the buses, and she was the captain of the Lord Exmouth Public House darts team. Seriously. You wonder where Lily came from? I mean, this is my childhood. No wonder I'm half crazy, is it? And she's a big blonde, full of one-liners, the fag on the gob, and she used to sit in the lav when you were in the bath with the lid down, flicking the ash in the palm of her hand. And then when she finished the fag, she'd wipe it on her skirts, And she had a heart of pure gold. She was tough as old boots. And I got a letter off an old lady to say, are you any relation to a Chrissy Savage I was in the war with? Because you're just like her. This is Lily, and I'm not at all. So I wrote back, and it turned out they were in the war together. My Auntie Chrissy, she was on the AK guns. She was only 19. And she'd lie in bed, and the sirens would go, and I believe the language would turn the air blue. Get out the bed, she'd get her woodbines. Head full of rollers. She put a great coat on over her nightie, and she'd get on this AK gun, spinning around like a maniac. Pregnant! She didn't know she was pregnant, and she was going... Because they disturbed her kip. Not because she hated the Germans, because they'd woke her up. They'd had the nerve to disturb her beauty sleep. She had the language, you know what I mean? Hitler had have heard her, he'd have vanished. But they were great characters.
Yes. What about growing up in that environment you described, that tough, masculine environment, and being gay? Was that a problem?
Well, it wasn't a tough masculine, because all the men were at sea.
I see.
It was a seafaring family, so they were all... And them days, you were gone for like a year, maybe, with Cunard Line or Blue Funnel. My dad wasn't at sea, but they were all these... They'd punch any man's headlights out, these women, they were really tough. So, and it was humour all the way.
So it never became an issue in your...
No, never.
No.
It was never anything I ever thought of.
What about, I mean, you had no sort of sense of purpose, if I read the research
Still
rightly.
Still haven't.
It just all happened to you. But how do you get from there to is it Camden Council you work for, isn't it?
I worked in a kids' home first in Birkenhead, and then I went from there.
So you want to be a social worker, basically?
I wasn't bothered what I wanted to. I'd really like to sit here and say I've been driven by various ambitions, and I haven't.
You haven't.
I've just floated in and out of things, whatever. I'd leave a job on a Friday, start a new one on a Monday, and leave that on Tuesday, and you'd go on the down. And
But you didn't pick easy jobs, you see.
No.
If you're going into social service and you're looking after, as you were looking after in Camden, you're looking after battered women and their children, you're picking up the pieces.
Yeah.
Actually living with them, weren't you?
Oh, yeah. But I was they've stopped it now, which is a shame. It was called the peripatetic team. And what we did, we'd go, say a parent went into hospital, we'd actually go into the home and look after the kids to save the kids going into care. 9 times out of 10, you're dealing with real squalor. And often drunken boyfriends would turn up in the night and think I was a new fancy bit, and go for me. And I'd be having fights in Camden High Street at 3 o'clock in the morning with babies under my arms. And I think, I'm 25, give us a break, I should be having a life. But I really enjoyed it. I'm painting a bad picture here. It wasn't all bad.
Yes.
It was I met some really great people I'm still in touch with.
And out of all that we've talked about so far, your aunties and the women you met then, somehow was Lily formed out of an amalgamation of all these?
I don't think she was, because Camden was too sad, when I worked for Camden. You saw too much squalor, and It's too much heartbreak, too many sick children and too many women getting murdered by these pigs of husbands. I mean, and we weren't allowed to hit them. We were supposed to show our card and say, Camden Council. I shouldn't tell you this, really. Something like came to the door once and said, I want me baby, and hit him over the head with the dustbin. Do you? And had an official in the front room. I said, he's collapsed on the step.
You got involved, bound to get involved in the situation.
You can't help it. You really can't. No. You know, you've got kids to look after, and that's your main aim. And all I cared about was protecting them. So I'm sorry. I used to think, well, I'm not playing this by the rule book. You know, 4 o'clock in the morning with a drunk on a step with a broken bottle. I'm going to take whatever steps I have to. Just, you know, to look after these kids.
What kind of a view does it give you of the world?
Quite warped.
I bet it is too.
No, it didn't. It gave me... I see good and bad now in everything. And since I had the heart attack, I mean, I was a bit laid back before, but now nothing bothers me. Nothing phases me. I mean, it really doesn't. You know, c'est la vie. Because they said, like in the Palladium, aren't you scared going up through the roof in the net? No, don't bother me. Really doesn't bother me.
But again, it seems an extraordinary leap from that you've just described in Camden into the pubs of South London.
There's a reason.
Go on, tell me.
Because we got lots of time off in lieu. So I got a job. I used to work in pubs, you know, behind the bar to supplement my income because it was lousy money. And I worked in drag pubs. I was in all sorts of little drag acts, you know, there was lots of acts I was in them. But I used to think, I could do that. Because we would always play in Liverpool Housewives, you know, shouting out the windows to imaginary kids, go to the shop for us, and writing a list of, you know, like pints of milk, a loaf, 2 C-Fos powders and a bottle of lemonade, and don't talk to her, just to amuse ourselves. We used to play the Avengers. We used to play factories on sewing machines and all this, and I broke my leg jumping out the window playing the Avengers. I was 27. I mean, I'm sorry. You know, so it was constantly, it was just an extension of that, you know, and up I got. And because all the acts those days, most of them were all in sequins and they were Shirley Bassey orientated, you know, it was all very glamour. I went the other way with Lily, sort of gave her a skirt up here with a tassel and roots. You know, she had a tattoo and a love bite, you know what I mean? And heels were scuffed and holes in her tights, and she was a, you know, divorced prostitute with 2 children who had a fondness for booze and drugs.
It's a normal everyday woman.
Never
really.
look back, this is it, you know. Next thing you're on primetime telly doing blankety blank. Now, what happened? I'm sorry. What happened there?
But that'd be a tough apprenticeship, that wouldn't it?
Oh, you're telling me. The Vauxhall Tavern on the Saturday Night Late Show, they'd eat the young live. I mean, really, really rough. You know, you had to be able to control them. And often, like, you know, if it got too late, I'd get off the stage and belt them.
Really?
Yeah.
Whack 'em?
Yeah. Shut up and get back up.
But, I mean, that was the start of it all. And now, I suppose, are you distancing yourself from Lily now?
No, not at all. What's happened is... since that's how you talk about it. How are you? I have so many people come up to me in the street and say, how are you since you give up smoking? I could kill him. 60 times a day I'm reminded that I don't smoke anymore. And normally they've got a fag on. I wish I could give up. And they blow it in your face. I'm quivering. I could stop it, please. Leave me alone. They come up to me all the time. That's not a ciggy in your hand, is it? Say, no, it's a dog lead, actually, with a shih tzu on the ends. Are you half crazed? I forgot what you asked me now. I've gone off again.
About giving up, distancing yourself from
Oh, no, it's just... a lot of different jobs came along, you know, like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and playing the child catcher. Lily's back at Christmas to the Wicked Queen in Panto. Yeah. And then I'm doing a sitcom for the Beeb.
Oh, yeah.
Playing again Evil, the manager of a bingo hall in Liverpool.
Right.
So there's not but I'm going to tour with Lily next year because I'm quite up for that. I think I'll go out on the road.
It's a marvellous character. I mean,
it's a laugh to do because you can talk utter rubbish. I'm talking utter rubbish now, I know, and I haven't got a wig on. But it's a great laugh to do, and I'm sort of fond of her, yeah, and she's given me a lot of things, a nice house, you know, and a different lifestyle, and Cilla Black.
Well, now then, Cilla Black. Now, that's interesting, because the last time you were on the show, you met for the first time. I was always assuming when we booked the two of you, we thought, well, they'll be bosom buddies.
Didn't know each other. I don't think we were particularly keen on each other, me and Cilla. And we hit it off like a house on fire. You know, now she's like me. 3 things gave me a heart attack: cigarettes, coffee, and Cilla Black. The 3 things.
That's good, that.
Yeah, oh, no,
is she, I mean, you helped her through the period of bereavement?
I did. I didn't do it consciously, you know. You know when you need... It's often easier to talk to somebody you don't know very well and let you pour your heart out and cry, you know, like... So I suppose I was a bereavement counsellor.
Yes.
But she tells her, there was a terrible story in the paper about me taking my clothes off on a plane. Did you see that?
No.
I could kill her for it.
Why?
She uses me as a smokescreen, you see, to get them off air. I better tell you about Paul. So I like to go where you get the bed and you watch the movie and you get the meal and you take your sleeping pill and unconscious. Yeah, it's fabulous. So I got in the bed and I took the pill and they give you them tracksuits to wear. It's fancy wearing a tracksuit in bed and a quilt. So the sweat's running off me like a glass blower's. So I've had my sleeping pill. So I took the top off and flung it down the plane. Scylla's there watching a movie. And then the pants come off. And then I'm like that with everything hanging out the duvet. And she's going, Paul! Paul! Telling everybody on the plane. The fella behind me's got tracksuit bottoms wrapped around his head. And she tells these tales, and of course it all goes round, and I get people whistling the stripper at me.
Now, you only came on tonight to get away from Truly Scrumptious, didn't you? Truly
Scrumptious, yeah. They'll be singing that right at this very minute.
That's right.
Without me. I'll have withdrawal symptoms. I'll have to go home and suck a lollipop.
How long are you in the show for?
I'm in it till Christmas. Yeah.
And then the panto.
Then panto, yeah.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
Well, all success, and it's great to see you looking so fit.
It's nice to be here. It's nice to be anywhere that hasn't got a pine lid and handles. You know what I mean?
Paul O'Grady, thank you very much indeed.
Cheers. Paul O'Grady. Thank you very much.